sub-zero weather. And that winter of '82 also threatened their greatest asset, that band of sheep.
Down in January, why, we got an awful blizzard.
More than 600 sheep, the same ones Richard Hall had loaned him $62,000 for a few months earlier, were trapped. Clark had the equipment to get to them, but he had absolutely no fuel. So he called Richard Hall and asked if he'd back him for 200 gallons of diesel from a local dealer.
And he says, well, I could give a less, whether your sheep live or die. Then he told me, he says, you're just caught between a rock and a hard place, mister. And I thanked him kindly and hung up the phone. And
the family finally borrowed fuel from a neighbor, and they got the sheep fed. But feeding themselves was a problem, too. The Clarks had a family meeting and made a decision people in these parts dread making.
We finally got food stamps. Got so bad I couldn't hack them anymore. I knew it put a lot of food on the table for the kids, but the embarrassment of having them, I guess I couldn't handle it anymore, and I finally had to just drop them.
By late winter of '82, there was a rumor about the Clarks. Ollie Rollinson, the local equipment dealer, got it on a chance meeting in the street with a pretty good source named Richard Hall.
I said there was 3-4 in Garfield County that he was going to foreclose on, and Ralph Clark was one of them.
And how exactly did Ralph Clark find out?
I was over to my neighbor's last spring, and he asked me if I knew I'd been foreclosed on. I said no. Kind of upset me. Everybody in the county knows that you're foreclosed on, and at least I should have been the first one notified. I didn't think much of it. We don't do things that way out here in Montana.
And aside from humiliation, the Clarks have also been formally accused of dishonesty. The acceleration notice charges that they illegally sold some of the crop that was securing those government loans. The Clarks plea, guilty. We had to survive.
Winter that we was totally broke. There was no question about we had to keep the kids warm. Went and bought wood stoves, put them in, never thought nothing about it from then on. That winter, we spent less than $500, or right at $500 for a whole winter between the three families for groceries.
And we wondered, do the Ralph Clarks of America have recourse if they feel they've been wrong?
I think you want to consider we have quite an elaborate appeal and review system within the agency, which these allegations would hold any merit should be brought out in that review process.
Ralph Clark did appeal, but the transcript indicates that the FMHA hearing officers were not too interested in their own county supervisor's conduct. Quote, Rick Hall, county supervisor, is not on the witness stand of any type. Quote, questioning Rick Hall about every item that he's done is not accomplishing anything. Quote, your point you want to make is there wasn't adequate supervision. I don't see that that's very relevant right now. Appeal denied. Today, Ralph Clark's dream is a pathetic shambles. The family told us they are planning to sue the Farmers Home Administration, and they are done forever with low-cost government loans. And it's best not to mention food stamps to Ralph's son, Edwin.
I guarantee you and everybody else, it's going to be paid back someday if I have to pick up leaves in the city park to do it. It's going to be paid back.
Thank you, Verona. We will be right back.
Help! Here, let's have a crawl. I just washed my no-wax floor, even though it doesn't look so great.
What's this? Oh, could be a cloudy film from your cleaner.
Think so? Try Clean and Clear on your no-wax floor. It's new.
Cleaners that mix cloudy can dry cloudy without rinsing. New no-rinse Clean and Clear mixes clear, dries clear. Is clean. Nothing cloudy to rinse away.
Your floor looks terrific.
Try new Clean and Clear, the no-rinse cleaner for a clearly beautiful floor.
Really now, how can you tell if you're buying a quality paint? You can't kick it like a tire or squeeze it like bathroom tissue. But there is one way. You can buy Glidden, a brand that's been proving and improving its quality since 1872. In fact, now you can buy famous Glidden spread satin for only $9.99. The same low price as last year. Glidden. We keep our promises. In the can.
Motor Trend magazine has just announced its import car of the year, and the winner of this prestigious award is the Mazda 626. A series of high-performance road cars Motor Trend says could be the grand slam home run of 2-liter sedans. In fact, they say the 626 may be the car that sets new standards for the class worldwide. Mazda 626 may just also be the import value of the year. Experience 626.
Rather than compare personal computers ourselves, we asked the computers which one was better on the basis of price and memory. The Apple II preferred the Commodore 64. Then we asked the IBM, and it picked the Commodore 64. Then the Radio Shack chose the Commodore 64. That's what we like about our competition. They're so honest. The Commodore 64, what nobody else can give you at twice the price.
An action-packed weekend on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Saturday, see it for yourself. Dwight Braxton and Michael Spinks in their battle for the undisputed World Light Heavyweight Championship. Plus, going for it. Personal bests, world records, national titles, Olympic dreams, the NCAA Swimming and Diving Championships. Then on Sunday, more aquatic excitement. And the good old boys are fired up. Mean Machines make their way to the checkered flag at Atlanta, live. Grab all the action Saturday and Sunday on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
And that's 2020 for tonight. We're in touch, so you be in touch. I'm Hugh Downs. Good night.
For those who would like a transcript of tonight's broadcast, send $2 to Transcripts, Box 2020, Ansonia Station, New York, New York, 10023. This has been the ABC News Magazine 2020.
Tomorrow on ABC's World News Tonight, the miracle of Faith. She's 1 month old, weighs mere ounces, no bigger than your hand, dwarfed by tons of life-supporting equipment. How is she beating the odds against survival? ABC News, uniquely qualified to bring you the world.
Former Columbus City Councilor Charlie Rector slipped into critical condition tonight at the medical center with suspected Legionnaire's disease. Delta Airlines wants to help you get out of town more cheaply. And spring is having a hard time breaking through winter's grip. The full story next on Action 9 News.
My Can-Do checking is free and pays me interest. And believe me, that really helps.
With Can-Do checking, I don't have to worry about being nickel and dime to death with service charges. Besides, a nickel can come in handy.
There's a Georgia Federal near you. Come in and see what we can do for you. Can-Do, Georgia Federal, Can-Do.
Time is running out, so drop everything. And hurry on down to Toyota's Drop Everything sales event. Wherever you see this sign, Toyota dealers are trying to sell 60,000 cars and trucks. But time is getting short, so you can imagine the sort of deals he has in mind. So drop everything and come on down. Corollas and Tercels are at last summer's sticker price. Special truck incentives from Toyota to dealers could save you big money. It's Toyota's big Drop Everything sales event, so drop everything and come on down.
This weekend, while they last, unheard of prices at Maloof Toyota. Silica GT liftbacks, AM/FM stereo radio, power steering, power brakes, air conditioning, steel belted radio tires. As cheap as $81.50. That's this weekend only. Or how about another weekend special? This Toyota Cressida with sunroof, AM/FM stereo radio, tape player, equalizer, electric windows, electric door locks, cruise control, tilt wheels. As cheap as $10,000. That's right, you heard of it. $10,000 this weekend at Maloof Toyota.
You're watching 9 WTVM Columbus.
This is Action 9 News with Andy Still in the news, Mark Haggard with sports, and Mitzi Oxford with the weather.
Good evening, I'm Mark McGee, sitting in for Andy Still. Former Columbus City Councilor Charlie Rector is in critical condition tonight at the medical center. Rector had been in satisfactory condition for several days, but hospital spokesman Tom Titus says Rector was rushed to the coronary care unit earlier this evening. A family spokesman, John Santoro, said that Rector is believed to have Legionnaire's disease. Santoro asked that viewers not call the hospital or Rector's home, but stay in touch through news media updates. Titus said that Rector, an unsuccessful candidate for mayor last year, is in stable, though critical condition. Spring is having a hard time making it through winter. Today was officially the 4th full day of spring, but several inches of snow in northeast Georgia and some flakes locally made it seem more like January. Mitzi, how do you explain it?
Well, this was definitely, Mark, what you call a freak spring snowstorm. As a matter of fact, not only did they have some extremely heavy snow in Birmingham and Atlanta, and that set a record for snowfall in through the spring, this was record snowfall for many areas, even going back through the winter months as well. Now, what happened is we had one of these gusts of cold, dry air coming down out of the Great Lakes, extremely cold air, and it met up with this flow of moisture that was coming in from the Gulf. As a result, it did fall in the form of snow, and this is how it looked this morning in case you weren't up in time to see it. Snow falling looks definitely more like winter than spring, and of course some heavy amounts. Locally, we had about an inch or two, but it melted as it hit the ground. Up in Atlanta and Birmingham, they had the heaviest snowfall totals with between 6 and 8 inches. And I'll have more details on that freak snowstorm in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mitzi. The snow came and went through Muskogee and Russell counties, but it was so cold, it was cold enough to stick to the ground just north of Columbus. In LaGrange, residents were up to or in a winter wonderland.
The freak winter storm that hit the LaGrange area came as quite a surprise to residents Thursday morning.
It was really a surprise. I mean, I got up and looked out and said, wow, you know, it looks like it should have been Christmas or something. But no, this is the first real thick snow that we've had, you know, this bad and everything.
Yeah, how long have you lived? Slippery conditions took their toll on the city streets as many intrepid citizens attempted to carry on their normal routine under abnormal conditions. Some motorists were forced to abandon their cars during the morning rush when the snowfall seemed to be its heaviest. There were no major accidents, but the hazardous state of the roads kept police busy.
Been had a lot of wrecks and all out. People are getting out this morning, you know, a bit of a shock to them, and they're trying to get back and forth to work and sliding all off the road, and quite a few wrecks. Been pretty busy here, but things I think quiet now somewhat. Hopefully it'll get a little better.
By 10 a.m., over 3 inches of snow had fallen already, and scattered power outages had been reported. But even though the weather had made even the simplest travel difficult, there were those who found humor in the situation.
This seems to be a popular ditch. Everybody's running in this one this morning.
Of course, the snow idled many businesses and shut area schools, giving students an unseasonable spring vacation. But with the forecast calling for a warming trend, the snow that accompanied the first week of spring will probably be just another memory very soon. From LaGrange, Morgan Page, Action 9 News.
There are only 2 airlines serving Columbus passengers now, and one of them, Delta, may be making changes in its airfares. Those changes would drum up business at Columbus Metro Airport and allow those who choose to fly to their destination to save some money.
Delta Airlines is considering a proposal designed to consolidate its fares. Under the plan, all fares would be figured on a mileage basis. Delta marketing manager Jim Scherer says the plan would probably result in more passengers flying rather than driving between Columbus and Atlanta.
We feel it will bring lower fares to Columbus than we currently have today. The fares will be very similar to the Atlanta fares.
One thing the proposal would do for Metro Airport is immediately drop the cost of airfare from Columbus to Atlanta for one-way coach service. But the big savers will be those who fly on beyond Atlanta. For example, a Columbus to Atlanta flight now costs $73. Under the new plan, that fare would drop to $44. But for passengers flying from Columbus to Washington, say, the cost would be $181. From Atlanta, that flight would cost $159, only $22 less than a flight originating in Columbus. The savings to a Columbus passenger over the Columbus to Atlanta rate is made up in the long mileage. Another proposal would cover round-trip flights. If the airline adopts the plan, the new rates will take effect April 2nd. Bailey Brotherton, Action 9 News.
Arson is suspected in an early morning